Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kirill, your justice analyst from Belarus living in Germany, and it's time to continue taking a look at the potential results of Eurovision Song Contest 2026. I have already released the video with the potential results of the first semifinal. Definitely take a look if you still haven't. But today it's time for the second semifinal, where again 10 countries will manage to qualify out of 15 contestants, so it means 5 will be out. My predictions are based on the performances from the pre-parties in London, Amsterdam, Oslo, also based on the performances at the national selection, official music video, bookmaker odds, your votes in the Eurovision scoreboard app, and of course based on historical records and how the countries did in the Eurovision semifinals in the past. It's not my wishful thinking of 10 countries I would like to qualify, it's not my personal 10 favorites. I will just talk about the 10 countries which in my opinion at this point of time have the highest realistic chances to qualify. We will go through all the 15 countries one by one. I will tell you the qualification chances in percentage for each of them, and then we will see which 10 qualifiers I see from the semifinals. So let's start with the first country, and it's Bulgaria. What a strong comeback. After that quite weak entry in 2022, now they're back and stronger than ever with such a powerful singer, Dara, who has proven in the national selection and now in the pre-parties how much energy, charisma she possesses and how great of the vocalist she is. So it's no wonder that the Eurovision fandom community is ranking her 5th, bookmakers are ranking her just slightly lower, 6th, and I think that her qualification chances are 80%. I just can't see her not qualifying, but of course we haven't seen the final product, what Bulgarian delegation has in mind for this live performance. She has a very talented team working on this performance, so I'm sure we will be blown away by this and it will skyrocket Bangaranga directly into the Eurovision final. Song number 2 and that last place in accordance with the Eurovision fandom voting and in accordance with the bookmakers is of course Azerbaijan, Jiva, such a fantastic artist, her vocals are out of this world. She has proven at the Amsterdam Eurovision pre-party that we should not write her chances completely off because vocally she is amazing. This entry slightly reminds me of the Moldovan entry from I think 2019 called Stay. This entry was ranked 12th in the end in the semi-final, even though no one expected it to be even so high, but the live performance just elevated it so much, the perfect live vocals. So I'm giving 15% qualification chance at this point of time to Azerbaijan. I still think the song is just not right and the running order is absolutely horrible, performing second after such an energetic entry from Bulgaria and right before another big favorite, Romania. She might though at least profit from the fact that people will just have more time to vote for her because she's so early in the running order. Did I say that Bulgaria managed to do an amazing comeback after a very mediocre entry in 2022? Well, Romania prepared, in my opinion, even stronger comeback after their very mediocre entry in 2023. So now it's Choke Me, ranked 4th by the Eurovision fandom and by the bookmakers, and I'm ranking her chances to qualify as 100%. I just can't see this amazing song with this amazing vocals not qualifying. Alexandra Căpitănescu has already proven to us how great of a live vocalist she is. All her performances from the pre-parties were great, one better than the other. I hope they have some cool concepts for the Eurovision staging and then she might even fight for winning this semi-final. And now it's time for our tiny Grand Duchy, which has a perfect qualification record in the Eurovision semifinals. They took part just 2 times before and managed to qualify without any issues on both occasions. And of course, it's Luxembourg. This year, they again picked a solo female artist, but this time without any text in French, which was a sort of typical characteristic of Luxembourg entries in the last 2 years. I think Marija very much stands out in this lineup with her sort of more contemporary pop song. It gives this amazing and slightly nostalgic, only teardrops vibe in a magical forest environment, as Eva Maria has said her performance in Eurovision Song Contest will sort of go into this Avatar theme, which I think is a very clever choice. It will totally stand out after Romania for the people who are seeking for this more conservative, typical traditional pop songs. And I think the violin solo is definitely like a cherry on top of this cake, which just solidifies her chances to qualify. At this point of time, Eurovision fandom is ranking her 12th, while the bookmakers are putting her second to last, so 14th. I'm nevertheless ranking her chances as 60%. We have amazing record from Luxembourg in the past years. I think Eva Maria, with each of her live performances, was absolutely amazing. I love the visual concept they're going for. I think this will be very unique. It's something what might move a lot of the viewers, and I think this radio-friendly sound will also help her to get some decent points from the juries. Locked in probably one of the worst spots to perform in the semi-final, right before a huge favorite France is Czechia this year. Daniel Zizka could nevertheless be a big dark horse of the year. He's currently ranked 7th by the Eurovision fandom and 7th by the bookmakers, and I will rank his chances as 55%. The risk we have here that we haven't seen a proper live performance with all the cameras, good sound. We have seen the performance from the Amsterdam pre-party, but I think it doesn't really give us this clear of a picture to know what to expect. In any case, vocally, Daniel seemed to be great, so I think the juries might support this. This also sounds very modern and current. It definitely reminds me of the Swiss entry from Eurovision 2021. So if the right decisions will be made, if the camera angles will be spotless, then this might even fight for top 10 finish in the end in the grand final. But if they will make wrong decisions, then I think it might have similar fate as the Czech entry last year.
Paloma, Rumba, let's go! Rock this!
And right after France, also in quite a delicate position, is set to perform Armenia, Paloma Rumba, which is currently ranked 13th by the Eurovision fandom and 12th by the bookmakers. This song though radiates so much energy, it's so different, it's so crazy that I think it will nevertheless stand out and do quite well. Plus, in general, we know that Armenia knows how to stage their songs. Last year, for example, Armenia was such a grower between their national final performance and the live performance in the Eurovision Song Contest. It was such a huge difference that I even believed Armenia might be in top 10. This year, maybe not, but at least I see Armenia qualifying. And actually, this is the only song in the whole semi-final which has this sort of fun vibe, a little bit crazy. You might compare it to Bulgarian entry, but Bulgarian entry is a female performer. It's totally different vibe. So I think Armenia will stand out and will qualify to the final. Very clever choice from the producers to put, after France and Armenia, two absolutely crazy entries, to put Switzerland. This very typical, normal, calm, cute pop song performed by a singer-songwriter whom I have actually seen perform in live as a warm-up act for Aura Dion when she was doing a tour in Germany. Veronica Fusaro is currently ranked 11th by the Eurovision fandom and 13th by the bookmaker odds. I have to rank her chances as 25%. I think the song just doesn't stand out enough. I think the juries might vote for it. It might be even close to top 5, but I don't really see a lot of televoters grabbing their phone, voting for this one. I think it plays a similar card as Luxembourg in the semi-final, but Luxembourg, in my opinion, just has slightly higher chances. Right before another up-tempo entry from the host country, from Austria, we will have performance of Cyprus, Antigoni with Jalla. Fantastic summer bop, which is currently ranked by the Eurovision fandom 2nd, by the bookmakers 5th. I have to rank her chances to qualify as 45%. We know that such female bops are very much relying on the energy and the vocals of the lead performer, for example, with Chanel or Eleni Ferreira, who are absolutely excellent and radiating on stage. They managed to be even in top 3. But this year for Cyprus, based on the live performances from the Greek national selection, from the Scandinavian pre-party, I just see there is so much work the delegation has to do in order to make it sound good, in order to make it look good. And in the last years, we actually have seen many cases when Cyprus was sending great songs, like last year for Theo even, or before that for Andromaki. And then because the singers were not so experienced and not so confident on stage and not so great vocally, the songs failed to qualify. So at this point of time, I'm not sure that Cyprus has it this year in order to qualify. This semi-final seems to be very competitive, but I hope that once the rehearsals kick in, we will see how amazing Antigoni is on stage. I will be glad to lift this percentage of qualifying chances from 45% up to even 100. Latvia definitely managed to get a very beneficial position after slightly crazy song from Austria, after Bob with maybe questionable vocals from Cyprus comes Atvara with that famous siren sound. Maybe the song is a little bit simple in performance itself as well, but Atvara just convinces with her amazing live vocals. She's currently ranked 10th by the Eurovision fandom, she's ranked 11th by the bookmakers, and I would rank her chances as 30%. The reason why I'm not ranking this higher is that she is unfortunately in this second semi-final, which is so full of very strong ballads, which are mostly coming a little bit later, so not all of them can qualify, and I feel like her song is maybe not the most memorable one. I hope that Latvia can manage to keep their qualification streak, which they have now for 2 years, but I'm not sure that this will be the year for Latvia. Of course, the winner of the fandom voting in the semi-final and second place in accordance with the bookmaker odds is Denmark, Søren, Torpegaard, Lund. I'm ranking his qualification chances as 90%. Unfortunately, we have seen that his live performances at the last pre-parties were not the best. I'm not sure, maybe in the Danish national selection, analog to the Norwegian one, they're using sort of auto-tune live when the performances are going. So I have to save this 10% just in case. But I think this is a very strong entry if he will polish his vocals, if he will deliver similar performance to the one from the Danish national selection. Denmark can definitely go very high and be easily in top 10 in the grand final. And now we have two amazing vocalists back to back, Australia and afterwards Ukraine. This is now my personal winner of this year. As you know, I'm a huge Delta Goodrem fan. Delta is currently ranked 3rd by the Eurovision fandom. She's ranked 1st by the bookmakers. In accordance with her chances to qualify to the grand final, I can only rank the chances to qualify as 100%. I think even if the televoters support might be limited, it will be still enough to qualify, and the juries will absolutely love it. Delta is slightly unlucky that we have 2 younger jury members in the panel in every country, but on the other hand, it increases the number of the jury members in each voting country to 7, which means that the songs which are kind of pleasing everyone will do better, and I think that this is one of those which will be just constantly scored high by the juries and will be ranked very high in each and every country. So here it's not a question if Delta can qualify or not, I think it's the question, can she win the semi-final or will someone else steal victory from her? In a very comfortable position right before messy vocals from the United Kingdom and right after sort of more generic song from Australia is coming Ukrainian entry. Like every year, Ukraine is sending us something very special, and Lelika is bringing us not only a special song but also incredibly impressive vocals. This one tone which Lelika is holding for something like 30 seconds is absolutely out of this world. This is something what I think no other vocalist this year could repeat. I also love the message of the song. I'm sure Ukraine will again do very well. In accordance with the Eurovision fandom, it's ranked only 9th, but bookmakers definitely see much more potential in this. They're ranking Ukraine 3rd. I'm ranking the chances of Ukraine to qualify as 100%. I just can't see this entry not qualifying. How well it will do in the Eurovision final will also depend on their staging concepts, but usually Ukraine never let us down. If we just forget what happened last year, I'm expecting nothing less but an incredible staging with perfect vocals, and then in the end, maybe top 5 finish. If in the first semi-final we had a very strong first half and rather weak second half, here is kind of vice versa. The second half is absolutely crazy. So great vocalists, one after another, so many strong ballads. And now, right after the UK out-of-finalist entry, which I think many people will want to forget after watching the live performance, just based on what I have seen from the London pre-party, Then comes Albania. Very strong vocal performance, probably the best male vocalist of this year. He's ranked 6th by the Eurovision fans, he's ranked 10th by the bookmakers, and I would rank his chances as 65%. We know that Albania has a great qualification record. They also constantly get good support from the rest of the world, which is of course voting once again in the Eurovision semifinals. The song has broad appeal. Many of my friends who are not Eurovision fans, not really following all the national selections and everything, had this one named as one of their main favorites of this year. I'm only slightly reserved with my prediction just based on the fact how many strong ballads we have in the second half, and maybe this one might be not the one standing out. And surprise, surprise, we have another very strong male vocalist, this time Aidan from Malta. After Alice, he might not really stand out that much. The song is sort of reminding me of Swiss entry from the last year, just a little bit more up-tempo version. And we all remember those 0 points in the Eurovision final for Switzerland from the televoters. So I don't really think that Malta will get so much from the televoters. I hope for more support from the juries. Aidan is currently ranked 8th by the Eurovision fans and 8th by the bookmakers. I would rank his chances to qualify as 50%. I think it's very much realistic. They had already great visual concept, even in the Maltese national selection. I hope they will elevate it to another level for Eurovision Song Contest. If not Aidan, who else can represent Malta better in Eurovision? So I hope we will see the rehearsal of Malta, and then it will become immediately clear. We for sure see Bella in the Eurovision Grand Final. And whom do we have as closing entry in this semifinal? Of course, another very strong male vocalist, this time from Norway. I really like the choice of producers in this semifinal for the closing entry. The first semifinal we closed on this very pessimistic note, very dark note. Here it's a great, cool song, which is reminiscent of Måneskin, of Queen. Eurovision fans are hating it though. He is ranked 14th, so second to last. He's ranked also 9th in accordance with bookmaker odds. But I have to say, seeing his live performance from the Norwegian selection, knowing how well Gressula did in even more competitive Swedish Melodifestivalen, and remembering the victory of Måneskin a couple of years ago with a song in similar style, I just cannot rank it less than 85%. I think the song will have a broad appeal for the audience watching the contest, especially for those who like this a little bit nostalgic sound of Queen and rock music from the 80s in general, so I think it's another great result for Norway this year in Eurovision. So we have taken a look at all the 15 countries taking part in the second semi-final, so now it's time to summarize and see which then are qualifying to the final in accordance with my prediction. So as you can see, the 10 qualifiers are Bulgaria, Romania, Luxembourg, Czechia, Armenia, Denmark, Australia, Ukraine, Albania, and Norway. Malta and Cyprus are very close to the qualification zone. I'm just a little bit unsure. I really need to see their live performance during the rehearsals. So this is what I have thought about the second semi-final of Eurovision 2026. I think it's very open, just like the first one. Almost every country has very good chances to qualify to the final if they will bring some memorable, cool staging and will convince us with their charisma. Definitely let me know down below in the comments, what do you think I got wrong in this prediction? Where do you think I got it right, and maybe the bookmakers or the Eurovision fandom are overrating something? I'm looking forward to hear back from you. Definitely subscribe to my channel, like this video, and don't miss my updated predictions after the rehearsals. See you there. Bye bye.